Hello, hello. So I recorded this already, but I was rambling on too much, so I'm going to re-record this. So our Splunk environment is coming along pretty good, and then we got hit with this irritating noise right here for the IOWait. This has to do with a change that Splunk made, I think in version 8, where they made the IO requirements kind of strict for on-prem environments. I don't want this warning showing up here because there's nothing I can do in this lab environment to make the IOWait any better. I can't resolve this issue, and I don't want it showing up here always and potentially hide another kind of major issue. So I'm just going to disable this health check so it doesn't hide something else. We'll go through it through the process of doing it from the GUI, and then we'll also figure out how to get it deployed out to the indexers as well, because I think this is showing the indexers. Yep. So we'll go through that process. So to start with, I'm going to disable it on the cluster manager. We'll need to do it for pretty much all of these hosts. So we'll look at the doing it locally, doing it for indexers, and then doing it for a deployment client. So for me, it's going to be the search head. For the heavy forwarder, I don't care for it at the moment. Actually, we'll push it out to heavy forwarder as well. So to do it from the GUI, we'll need to go to settings. We'll go to health report manager, and we're looking for the IOWait feature. So here's IOWait. We can click on it. We're going to remove it from the report, include in the distributor report, and so I just turned all that off. You can try modifying the thresholds if that's more of what you want, but I'm just going to get this completely removed and click save. That is it. So to do it from the GUI, that's all there is, and the IOWait won't pop up anymore in the health report here. I don't know if that prevents the indexers from reporting it, so I'm going to show you how to remove it from the indexers as well. I'm going to go into Config Explorer and figure out where that saved to. It might be in system local health. It is not. So I know it's health.conf, but I don't know where it's saved to. So a good method if you're using Config Explorer is go to this little light bulb icon. I'm going to look for health because I know that's where it goes. And if I just control F in here for local, I can see the local changes. So these are all default. You can also right click and do hide all defaults for btool, and it'll only show you the customizations you've made. So here's the customizations I've made. This is what I want to copy over. So in Config Explorer, in this output, we can kind of modify it if we want. What I'm going to do is just hold my middle mouse button, and I can highlight in a column, and I'm just going to cut that out. So now we know how to do it from the GUI. I'm going to show you how to do it from the config file. So first, we need to get this pushed out to the indexer cluster. So I'm going to go over to Manager Apps, since that's where our apps for the indexer cluster is. Create a new directory. So I'm going to call this BC, just my name convention, disable IOWait. You can put it in an existing app if you want. I'll do local, create a app.conf, and I'll make a health.conf. In the app.conf, I'm just going to leave a note, disable IOWait health check. And you can, again, put this in like an indexer base app or something like that. You don't need to make its own app. I'm going to paste in what I have. And if I want to get rid of these spaces, either I can double click and manually get rid of them. But let's say you had a ton of spaces like this. You can use regex instead of Config Explorer. So I can do Control H in here to open up the find and replace. And in here, I'll just put a few spaces in, just to match, because this is a space, this is a space. Either I can do it the proper way or just put 3 spaces in, and I'll do plus. Need to turn on the regex mode. So 3 spaces, there we go. 3 spaces and plus, so it'll keep matching from anywhere there's 3 spaces and on. Just replace all. There we go. So we got rid of those spaces for us. So these are all the configs that we need. We just copied from the local version of this. Do Control S to save it. And I'm going to also create a metadata directory just out of habit, and we'll create a local.meta with the permissions in here just so we don't run into any permissions issues. Good to get into this habit. Close that. There we go. So the app is in there. We're going to go over to indexer clustering, go to edit, configuration bundle actions, and we're going to validate it. And you can do this from the back end if you'd like. So the validation is complete. The current bundle is this 42. The checked bundle is 74. It looks good. So I'm going to go ahead and push it. Doesn't need to do a restart. So this should be, oh, never mind. It's doing a restart. So I'll be right back. All right, there we go. The restarts are complete and the bundle has been pushed successfully to the indexers. I have some other warnings, but the IOWait is gone still, so that is good. So now the last one is to push it to our search head and the heavy forwarder. I don't think we really need it for the heavy forwarder, but I'm just going to push it out to both of these as well. Let's see if this is giving me an IOWait error right now. It is not, but it for sure will. So what we're going to do now is make that app again in deployment apps. I don't think you can copy, you can't copy whole apps from Config Explorer, so you can just go to the CLI. I'm going to go into the cluster manager, escalate to root, switch to Splunk, and let's go over to Splunk etc, and then I'm going to copy -R for recursive, the manager apps, BC underscore, I think it was called disable IOWait, yep, into deployment apps. Click enter. That should be good. So now if we go to deployment apps, here's our disable IOWait with our config in here. So now let's go over to the settings, forwarder management. Again, this is my deployment server. I'm going to go to server classes, either make a new server class or find one that matches. So I have this BC Splunk all, and this contains both my my search head and the heavy forwarder. So I'm going to go to configurations, click edit configurations, move this over. So now the disable IOWait is in here, and I'm going to click save. And you may need to go in here to this, click the view details for that app, and just turn on restart agent so that it can do the restart once it gets the app after it checks in. So now it has the, should get disable IOWait pretty soon. Let's go in here, go to agents. Okay, so one of them is done, the heavy forwarder, and it'll do a restart. So let me give this a few minutes to go through, get its apps and do its restart, and I'll be right back. All right, so it's been a few minutes. Let's hop over to the search head, and we'll go to settings, health report, and let's see where IOWait is. So it's disabled here. I don't know if it did its restart, so let's take a look at the configs. Let's go over to disable IOWait, local, health. Okay, cool. So the config is here. I'm pretty sure that's all that needs to be done here. Alert status, it still shows as, oh no, it is disabled. Okay, so yep, and then we'll go over to the heavy forwarder, log in here, go to this, and check the same thing. Cool, disabled. So that is it. We disabled it here, disabled it here, disabled it here, and it's locally disabled here. So yeah, that's it for the IOWait. Just make sure you pay attention to the other kind of symptoms that can happen, like ingest latency or anything like that. You don't want to have indexing issues, but at least with the IOWait warning removed, you can stay focused on any of the other health issues that might arise. So that's it for this one. I will see you in the next one. Bye-bye.